Tonight, one man is in custody after breaking and entering into a car dealership in Pittsfield. Around 7 p.m. Monday, the Nissan of Pittsfield auto dealership was broken into. A safe stolen from the dealership by a man who left the area on foot. Police collected initial evidence at the scene and spoke with a witness. After investigating, the suspect was identified. The next day, 48-year-old Joseph DeMary of St. Petersburg, Florida, was arrested. DeMary was booked and charged with breaking and entering. He was arraigned in court earlier today.